What's going on YouTube? It's X-Man 1991. I am back with another video. I hope you guys had a great Super Bowl weekend, and I hope you had a great Valentine's Day. Speaking of the Super Bowl, that's what I'm here to talk about. Well, not the Super Bowl, just giving you my 2 cents on the halftime show. And this rant is going to be about Snoop Dogg bringing back the iconic record label Death Row. So in case you've been living under a rock, you guys know that Snoop bought Death Row and he is now the founder of that label. It's been 15 or 16 years since Death Row went out of business or went bankrupt until Snoop brought it back this month. Snoop recently released his 20th album, B.O.D.R., Back on Death Row. That's back with 2 C's. This is Snoop's 3rd album on Death Row and his 1st album on the label since The Dogfather. I had no idea that Snoop bought Death Row. I didn't know that Death Row was coming back. So I'm just happy that Snoop, he did the right thing on bringing back Death Row. We thought we would never see or hear from Death Row again after it went bankrupt in 2006. So thanks to Snoop, Death Row is officially back in business. So before I give my 2 cents on the halftime show from this past Sunday's Super Bowl 56, I'm going to read the current roster on Death Row. It's going to take me a moment here. Because, you know, Death Row, it was good in the 90s, but I feel like Death Row during that time was like a negative and toxic place because the label went downhill in the late 90s when Tupac got killed, when Suge Knight was in jail, and when Snoop and Dre left the label. We all know, if you've seen my reaction to my favorite scene in Straight Outta Compton, Dre left Death Row to launch his 2nd label, Aftermath, and Snoop left Death Row and got signed with Master P and No Limit. You still got to give Master P credit for saving Snoop's life and career when Master P signed him. Because Snoop was going through a tough time during that. He was definitely going through a rough time in Death Row. You know, Tupac got killed and Suge Knight spent all his money during his murder trial. Give Master P props for saving Snoop's life and career when Master P signed him to No Limit. Okay, these are the current artists on Death Row. It's like 5, 6, or 7 of them. Of course, we have Snoop himself. We have the Dogg Pound. This is the first time in 25 years that the Dogg Pound has been signed to Death Row. Corrupt left the label in 1997 and Daz left the label in 1999. Then the Dogg Pound broke up in 2002 when Corrupt decided to re-sign with Death Row. And Corrupt was back on the label from 2002 until 2005, a year before the label went bankrupt. We have Joba Loke, never heard of that person. Doggy Style E with 4 E's, excuse me. And Hale. So those are the current artists on Death Row. Snoop, the Dogg Pound, and Hale, Juba Loke, and Doggy Style. And here's the former artists on Death Row. Of course, Dr. Dre, the DOC, Tupac, Danny Boy, Jewel, Johnny J, K Solo, the LBC Crew, Bow Wow, back when he was Lil Bow Wow, The Lady of Rage, Lisa Left-Eye Lopez, MC Hammer, Mark Morrison, Miss Chalet, Nate Dogg, Operation from the Bottom, The Outlaws, Superfly, Spider Loaf, Trey D. So hopefully we can get some unreleased Tupac material on this label. I know Tupac is definitely smiling down on Snoop for bringing back this label. Snoop released his new album Back on Death Row just in time for his halftime show performance at the Super Bowl from this past Sunday. Speaking of that, let me give you my 2 cents on the halftime show. Bro, this halftime show was the shit. I was in there jamming when these artists was performing their classic songs. Takes me back to the late 90s and the early 2000s when I was still in elementary school. It was an amazing lineup. Snoop, Dre, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, and Eminem. And no surprise that 50 Cent was going to be at the halftime show. They was talking about surprises, and I guess 50 was the surprise that Dr. Dre was talking about. And did you see how 50 looked? 50 looked big as hell compared to how he was when he first came out. What do you think we should call 50 now? $1.50 or $1 instead of 50 cent? But that halftime show was great. The only negativity that I have with the halftime show, I wish they would have performed more songs than just 1 or 2. But other than that, these guys put on a hell of a performance. This is the first time in years that I've seen a good halftime show like this. They should have had legendary artists perform at the halftime show like 5-6 years ago. Because the last couple of halftime show performances were boring as hell, and it definitely made me fall asleep. But Prince did perform at the halftime show, and it was good, and Beyonce. But I think the last good halftime show that I seen was the one with Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson. And we all know what happened at the end of that performance. I'm not even going to say it. You guys can go on YouTube and watch that performance. And I had no idea that Kendrick Lamar was so short. I thought he was taller. No idea that K-Dot was so short. And by the way, fuck EDP for saying that Kendrick Lamar sucks as a rapper. Well, that's his opinion and I respect that, but he said that Kendrick Lamar fell off. Nigga, you want to talk about somebody falling off? Let's think about who fell off hard when they got caught in 4K trying to meet up with a 13-year-old. Think about that. You want to talk about somebody falling off when you pretty much fell off yourself. This motherfucker here is not only pathetic and delusional, but he is hypocritical. That's my birthday twin you talking about, you son of a bitch. Yeah, if y'all didn't know, K-Dot and I were born on the same day. June 17th is our birthday, but he's 4 years older than me. He'll be 35, I'll be 31. And the NFL told M after he performed his song Lose Yourself to not take a knee. But M was like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it anyway. And he was also paying homage, paying tribute to Tupac, which is why he took a knee. And if you didn't know, M has been sober for the past 14 years. Congratulations, M. I'm so happy that M has been sober for the past 14 years. Mary J, she's been sober for the past 11 years. Snoop brought back Death Row. And Dre survived a brain aneurysm from last year. I thought we was going to lose Dre when he was in the hospital when he had suffered a brain aneurysm, but I'm happy that he survived that. Because we cannot afford to lose another legend in hip-hop like Dre. Even though 50 is not signed to Shady Aftermath anymore, it's still good to hear that he's good friends with Dre and M. If it wasn't for those two, 50 wouldn't be where he's at today. But other than that, that halftime show performance was great. I hope we have another great halftime show performance like that next year at the Super Bowl. We definitely need more halftime show performances like this. And when they was talking about what they was going to do like after the halftime show performance is over, Mary J said that she was definitely going to have a drink after the halftime show performance. Snoop said that he was focusing on celebrating his grandkid's birthday. And you know, Dre's birthday is this Friday. So he said he did not say what he was going to do for his birthday. Yeah, his birthday is 5 days after the Super Bowl. It's this Friday, February 18th. So I hope Dr. Dre definitely has a great birthday. And also, he did went to McDonald's like after their halftime show performance. He said that he has not had McDonald's in years. I mean, Dre is one of the richest niggas in the game, so of course he got to have like McDonald's or something to celebrate after their incredible halftime show performance. And I am going to see that I can do a reaction to the whole show because I definitely had to go back and rewatch it. I saw my guy Swaggy Reacts do a reaction to it, and No Life Shaq did a reaction to it as well. And I really want to do a reaction to that. I'm going to rewatch that whole halftime show performance. I just wish it was longer, though. I wish it was longer than 11 or 12 minutes. But other than that, it was a great halftime show. Having 5 legends and 1 soon-to-be legend. Snoop, Dre, MJB, M, K-Dot, and 50. I just hope we have another halftime show performance like this next year. So let me know in the comments down below, what are your 2 cents on Snoop bringing back Death Row? Do you think he did the right thing on bringing back Death Row? Or do you think he should have just left the label alone? To me, Snoop did the right thing to bringing back Death Row because we thought we would never hear from that label again after it went bankrupt in 2006. But that's going to wrap up my rant about Snoop bringing back Death Row and my thoughts about this past Sunday's halftime show at the Super Bowl. If you're new here, hit subscribe if you like the content and hit that notification bell for my next rant. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Leave your comment down below. What are your thoughts about the halftime show? And what are your thoughts about Snoop bringing back Death Row? I'll be back in a minute to do part 14 of my Let's Play of Kirby's Return to Dreamland, since I didn't get to do it on Sunday because of the Super Bowl. Don't follow your dreams, chase them. Peace.